Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm always breaking down the hot sports topics of the day. My name is Mike. Some NFL news breaking late this afternoon, right at the 4 p.m. franchise tag deadline. The Kansas City Chiefs decide to franchise tag Branden Albert, their offensive tackle, after they were able to reach a last-minute deal with wide receiver Dwayne Bowe. Bowe gets a 5-year extension. They decide to franchise tag offensive tackle Branden Albert. And now all you've been hearing in a lot of outlets is that, well, the Chiefs franchise Branden Albert, so now it makes no sense for them to pick Luke Joeckel number 1 overall. Just because they franchise Albert, I don't think that's going to preclude them necessarily from picking Joeckel number 1 overall. There's several reasons why I think this. One of them is, Albert has experience at guard. They could easily slide Albert to the guard position for 1 season, or they can put Joeckel at right tackle if they want to for 1 season. Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure when Jonathan Ogden was first drafted by the Ravens, he played guard for a year before they moved him to left tackle. So for Joeckel to have to play right tackle for a year before moving to left tackle, I don't think is a big deal at all. Also, I'd bring up, the Chiefs showed that they probably don't want to sign Albert to a long-term deal. This franchise tenders a 1-year thing. So, what are they going to do now next year if they can't come to a long-term agreement with Albert? And I think having Joeckel in the fold here gives them a little flexibility on what they want to do with Albert in the years to come. Albert's a good player. I think Joeckel is a sure thing with the number 1 pick. So why not have 2 good tackles or a quality left tackle and guard combo here for the Chiefs moving forward? You give Alex Smith, who was obviously a quarterback the Chiefs will trade for here when the league year becomes official on March 12th. Why not give Alex Smith an infrastructure of Albert and Joeckel on the offensive line, Dwayne Bowe at receiver, all right, and Jamal Charles in the backfield? That's the building blocks of a team that I think could compete right away when you take into account they do have some very good players on the defensive side of the ball as well. Some good linebackers, obviously Eric Berry in the secondary. So I think that's the start of a good young nucleus there, and I don't know why people are automatically assuming they won't draft Joeckel. Another point I'd like to make is, who do you draft number 1 if it's not Luke Joeckel? If it's not Luke Joeckel and you're not able to trade out of the number 1 pick, who's the pick there? Because, a lot of people are telling me, well, why don't they get a front 7 guy in the defense? Front 7 guy in the defense, who are you going to take? You don't need an outside linebacker. Star Latulele is really the only guy to me that makes sense there if he was healthy, if he didn't have this heart condition. But with this heart condition, I think he's too much of a question mark. And I don't think a guy like Sheriff Floyd's a fit here because they need a 3-4 defensive lineman. Don't forget that. Another guy I heard bantered about was D. Milner, that they have a need at corner. Why not D. Milner number 1? I like D. Milner as a player a lot. But remember, no cornerback has ever gone number 1 overall. And Milner was only a 1-year starter at Alabama. So when you combine all this, I think the Chiefs still take Joeckel number 1. I have him going 1 in my mock draft. I'm going to keep it that way until I see some news, obviously, that the Chiefs have changed their stance here. But let me know what you think, where you see the Chiefs going now. Do you see them not going with Joeckel? Who do you see them going with? Do you think I'm crazy to think that they'll take an offensive lineman, even with the fact that they franchised Albert? Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up here on the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. And guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm in the middle of doing my 7-round NFL mock draft, and I'm always uploading videos on a daily basis. Thanks again for listening, guys, and have a great night.